Welcome to InSightOut. Get ready to experience spine-chilling tales of reincarnation as we unveil 9 reincarnation stories that will give you goosebumps. Join us on a journey through the realms of the unknown, where past lives and the afterlife converge in haunting ways. Murdered Boy Reincarnated. An unnamed reader of the Epic Times told a story about how her 3-year-old son told her that he liked his new daddy, even though the reader's husband was the boy's real father. She didn't understand, so she asked him why. He said, "My old father was very cruel. He killed me by stabbing me in the back, but I love my new daddy, and he would never do that to me." Past life as a fighter pilot. James Leininger lived in Louisiana, started talking about flying when he was only 2 years old. His parents supposedly didn't know anything about planes, so they were shocked when their little boy started to show such a wide range of information about them. When James started having dreams about being shot down by a plane with a red sun on it, a Japanese plane, they went from being surprised to worried. He talked about having thoughts and memories of being Lieutenant James McCready Houston, a fighter pilot from Pennsylvania who died in Iwo Jima more than 50 years ago. Andrea, his mother, said that James would kick and point to the roof while screaming, "Airplane crash, on fire, can't get out, help!" Later, James told his parents that he had flown an airplane called the Corsair from a boat called the Natoma. When James's father did some study, he found that there had been a small escort carrier called the Natoma Bay in the Battle of Iwo Jima, and that a pilot named James Houston had flown on it. On March 3, 1945, Japanese fire hit his plane in the engine. Jim Tucker, a psychologist at the University of Virginia, said that Houston's plane went down exactly as young James Leininger had said it would. 3-year-old leads police to man who killed him in his past life. When he said he was killed in a past life, a 3-year-old boy in the Golan Heights caused quite a stir. The boy was a Druze, which is an ethnic group that believes in reincarnation. He had a long red birthmark on his head. Some Druze believe that birthmarks show where someone died in a past life. When the boy learned to talk, he told the older people that an axe had killed him in a past life. The boy was taken through several towns to see if he recognized any of them. When he found a village he said he knew who had killed him. All of a sudden, the boy walked up to a man and asked, "Aren't you Eli Lash?" The man said, "Yes." The boy then said, "I used to live next to you. You killed me with an axe during a fight." Eli told me that the man had turned as white as a sheet all of a sudden. The little boy, who was only 3 years old, then said, "I even know where he buried my body." Then, the boy led his parents to a pile of rocks where they found a dead body with an axe wound in the head. He also showed them where the axe was buried, which is said to have forced his killer to admit to the crime. WWO veteran shot in the throat. Edward Austrian, who was only 4 years old, started to feel a lot of pain in his throat after he started to fear gray, rainy days. He was said to say that his shot hurt whenever something hurt. When his mother asked him about it, he said he had been in the battles during what she thought was World War I. He talked in length about his life and how he was killed by being shot in the throat. Since doctors couldn't figure out why Edward's throat hurt, they took out his tonsils as a safety measure. But eventually, he got a cyst that no one knew how to treat. The cyst went away after he was urged to talk more about his past. The doctors were never able to figure out why. The Barra Boy. Cameron Macaulay from Glasgow, Scotland, who is also known as the boy who lived before, started telling his mother when he was 2 that he wasn't from Glasgow at all, but from a small island called Barra in the Outer Hebrides off the west coast of Scotland. Cameron talked about his life there in great detail, including his black and white dog, the beach he used to walk on, his mother, the house they lived in, and his 7 siblings. He even said that his father's name was Shane Robertson and that he had died in a car accident. Cameron's parents took him to Barra so they could find out what was going on. Even though no one there could remember a person named Shane, the Macaulays found the house Cameron had told them about. It was the Robertsons' house. One of the family photos had the black and white dog and the car that Cameron remembered. Boy is his own grandpa. 18-month-old Augie, Gus Taylor's grandfather, had died a year before Gus was born. But Listverse says that Gus, who was a year and a half old at the time, said he was his own grandfather. Even though he had never met Augie in person, he was able to recognize him in family photos when he was 4. That may not seem like much, but it gets stranger. Augie's sister was killed, and her body was dumped in San Francisco Bay years ago. No one in Gus's family had ever told him this before, so when he started talking about his dead sister, everyone was shocked. Darth Vader? The following story was shared by Epic Times. My older sister was born the same year that my dad's mom died. My dad says that as soon as my sister was old enough to say the words, she said, "I am your mother." A serial killer in a past life? A user on Reddit told this scary story. Ever since I can remember, I've had vivid dreams about being a serial killer in the 1940s or 1950s. I lived in the middle of the woods in an old farmhouse that was far away from everyone else. I buried my victims, who were all very pretty women with black hair about shoulder length, on my land. There are at least 50, and there may be more. Since I can remember, I've always dreamed about this, and the details never change. I don't know your name or where you live, but it worries me enough that I looked for you, and I don't think you ever found me. There are times when I really do miss my old life. I wouldn't hurt a fly in this life, and I've made it my goal to help people. Some things make me feel things that aren't really me, and I don't know where they come from. It's always the same kind of girl, and I always think of the same way to hurt her so I can bring her back to my place. I've accepted it and tell myself it's just an annoying thought, but I've never wanted to do anything about it in this life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more fun and interesting facts about the world we live in. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And if you have any suggestions or topics you'd like us to cover, let us know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.